This is the Election Bureau. Hello, you are welcome to the Channel One Newsroom, live from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano here in Accra. My name is Charles Owusu Kumi. Coming up, Supreme Court declares Speaker Bagwin's declaration of 4 vacant seats unconstitutional.
In a majority decision of 5-2, Lovelace Johnson JSC and Amadou Tanko JSC dissenting on the issue of jurisdiction, the plaintiff's action succeeds.
Also coming up, Electoral Commission disqualifies Ghana Freedom Party's presidential candidate nominee.
Feel that it is in its bosom to allow any political party to correct illegalities with the form. The Commission, therefore, as at yesterday, wrote to the party and to the candidate disqualifying him from contesting the 2024 presidential election.
2 killed, several wounded in violent clash in Baduri. Bawku death toll now from recent unrest now at 25. Later on the Channel One Newsroom, indefinite strike by Ghana Highways Authority workers disrupts operations leading to clients being turned away.
We'll call on them to resume so that we can able to get our documents. So whatever causes the strike, governments will look at it and then solve it amicable. Then our document would go fast because we are in election year. So we are all want our document to go to the payment site so that we're able to pay the bankers so that we can get another money to do our work.
In CNR business, Bank of Ghana suspends Consolidated Bank Ghana's foreign exchange trading license for 1 month. Thank you for choosing the Channel One Newsroom. Let's begin the bulletin now. The Supreme Court of Ghana, in a 5-2 decision, has ruled that Speaker Alban Bagwin's declaration of all seats as vacant is unconstitutional. At a brief session on Tuesday, November 12, 2024, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu stated that the Speaker's declaration cannot stand. She added that the full reasons for the verdict would be provided on Wednesday, November 13, 2024. Channel One News' Jude Duncan was at the Supreme Court and filed this report.
The Supreme Court today ruled against Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagwin's decision to declare 4 parliamentary seats vacant, siding with a challenge brought forward by plaintiff Alexander Penyomarkin for interpretation on Article 97, Clause 1, G and H. In Tuesday's ruling, the 7-member panel presided over by Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu delivered a 5-2 majority decision in favor of the plaintiff Alexander Penyomarkin. Justice Avro Lovelace Johnson and Justice Ibrahim Amadou Tanko were the 2 dissenters on the judgment delivered by Her Ladyship Gertrude Tokonu.
By court, in a majority decision of 5-2, Lovelace Johnson JSC and Amadou Tanko JSC dissenting on the issue of jurisdiction, the plaintiff's action succeeds. The full reasons and orders of the court shall be filed with the registrar by close of day tomorrow, 13th November 2024. This is the judgment of the court.
The dispute revolves around Speaker Bagwin's interpretation of Article 97, Clause 1G and H of the Ghanaian Constitution, which he cited as the basis for declaring the seats vacant. The move was met with legal and political pushback, with Penyomarkin arguing that the Speaker of Parliament had exceeded his authority. counsel for the Speaker of Parliament, today did not also show up in court. Lead counsel for the plaintiff, Ejura, expressed his satisfaction with the decision of the court to overrule the orders of the Speaker of Parliament.
Well, I mean, I think I've been in law for too long. I accept decisions as they come. I mean, if they are ruled against, I would have accepted it. I've come to realize that in this matter of law, you must accept decisions as they come. You go to court and a judge is engaging you, questioning you. You may think that the judge doesn't like you, so to speak. But you'll be surprised that that judge will rule in your favor. Maybe you needed some clarification. Some of the judges too will heckle you, and then they will go the way you expected them to go. I don't want to comment on that, but I think that what I'm saying, people understand. If you listen to what happened yesterday and you see it today, you understand what I'm saying.
Majority Leader Alexander Apenyo-Markin, in an exclusive interview with Channel One News, explained the next line of action for the MPP caucus.
Several efforts were made by my good self and leading members of our party to engage Mr. Speaker, behind the scenes to avoid this. But he decided to express his opinion. We don't hold anything against him. We believe that he's expressed his view and we disagreed. We've come here. Even the court itself, 7 of them, 5 agreed with us. 2 of the view that, yes, though the matter has substance, but it should have gone to another forum. So that's the beauty of it. And lead counsel, former Attorney General, and a senior colleague at the bar and senior member of Parliament, Honorable Ejura, expressed that in his interview, which is what has become the law. So today, all reliefs have been granted. What we expect is that our friends would respect the ruling of the court so that we move on. And then also, you as a media house, you have a responsibility to educate the public and explain issues to them. And then also, I think we take this opportunity to let go what happened yesterday, the disagreement we had, because
Honorable, finally, Honorable, so finally, Order 53 of your standing orders gives you the power to trigger a recall of Parliament. Well, when should we expect that?
We have just completed this process here. I am sure we would engage. It's time to engage. It's time to allow deeper reflection.
The Majority Chief Whip, Frank Anodompre, later addressed journalists, emphasizing the importance of respecting the Supreme Court's decision on the vacated parliamentary seats, calling for adherence from both the Speaker of Parliament and the NDC caucus.
What we expect our colleagues to do, I don't expect anything different from their complying to the judgment. Of course, when a case involving the minority leader and the court ruled, not necessarily the Supreme Court, but it was a court ruling, they were celebrating it. I expect them to celebrate with us. They must be seen to be celebrating this victory, which gives a definition to true parliamentary jurisprudence. That we expect them to do. I hope you are listening. Yeah, so our colleagues, we expect them to celebrate with us, and also to celebrate not with us, with the Ghanaian people, that this is democracy. And for the Speaker, with his caliber in wake, I don't expect anything different. So those who say that, what about if he doesn't respect the judgment? I don't think it's an option at all. It cannot be an option for the Speaker to say that.
The Supreme Court today has ruled against the Speaker of Parliament's decision to declare 4 seats vacant. The Apex Court, in a 5-2 majority decision with Justice Electoral Lovelace Johnson and Ibrahim Tanko as dissenters, explaining in the ruling that the full judgment would be put out later. In the aftermath of the judgment by the Supreme Court, the Majority Leader Alexander Apenyo-Markin called on his colleagues in the NDC caucus to abide by the decision of the Apex Court. Reporting for Channel One News, my name is Jude Duncan.
And we're still a while longer on this subject because we're joined on the phone lines by Vincent Ekwasifwa, the Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, and Ni Lanti Vanderpoy, the Member of Parliament for Ododo constituency. Now, I'll begin with the Member of Parliament for Otafo, the Honorable Vincent Ekwasifwa. Honorable, thank you very much for joining us here on the Channel One Newsroom. I'm sure you're happy by this decision of the Supreme Court. So that is the legal solution you were looking for. In terms of procedures and the political aspect, I heard the majority leader talk about engagement. How are you hoping to go about this in Parliament?
Well, let me say a very good evening to you and to my senior colleague on the line, the Honorable Van der Poel. I do not think that this is a victory for the MPP, for which reason I'm supposed to be happy. No, I don't think so. I actually believe that this is a test to our constitution and our democracy. It's a victory for our democracy. Going forward, it means that there is some amount of finality that has been put to what really Article 97 is going to serve as some amount of guidance as far as the future is also concerned. So this is a victory for our democracy. It's not victory for the New Patriotic Party or the majority caucus. It has also put some amount of finality as to who is majority in Parliament and who is minority in Parliament. Because the effect of the judgment of the Supreme Court is that whatever relief that was sought for by the plaintiff succeeds unanimously except to the jurisdiction. Jurisdiction in this context as to whether the Supreme Court assumes responsibility to be able to interpret Article 97(1)(2). It is interesting to note that the two dissenting opinions also depict that the Supreme Court, the thinking chamber, all the Supreme Court judges were able to put their opinions and their understanding to the law to bear. And for that matter, based on their understanding, they were able to rule or to give a judgment as to what they think the meaning of Article 97 G and H is. And so it's a victory for Ghana, it's a victory for our democracy.
So you're expecting that, as stipulated in Article 2 of the Constitution, the Speaker would obey and apply this ruling of the Supreme Court. But what if there is non-compliance in Parliament? Do you have any concerns?
The law is very clear. It is not within my bosom to decide what will happen if the Speaker so wishes or so decides not to comply with the judgment of the Supreme Court. As a lawyer, I think that if there is any available tool for the Speaker of Parliament, if he so disagrees with the judgment, I think that there's an opportunity for him to go back to the Supreme Court for a review of the judgment. Mind you, he failed to show up in court to defend the suit in question. So what that means is that you have to prove to the Supreme Court why that opportunity was given and he failed to do so. That is, if he decides to disagree with the Supreme Court and would want to seek for a review. Apart from that, I do not think that there's any other option available to him. He may decide to disagree and he may decide to share his opinion about it, but that is the interpretation of the law. When you read a number of cases, Espate, Makosa, Zenato, and what have you, it talks about the fact that the meaning of the Constitution is what the Supreme Court says.
All right.
So what the Constitution means is what the Supreme Court has said, or the meaning that the Supreme Court gives to it. So it doesn't lie in the mouth of anybody to say that I will not comply with the interpretation that has been given to the constitutional provision. Mind you, Ghana practices a constitutional supremacy. Constitutional supremacy in the sense that Government 101 will also educate you or will let you know that there are three arms of government. we have the executive, we have the legislative arm of government, and the judiciary. And all these arms of government are subservient to the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
All right.
And the same power that is given to the Speaker of Parliament for him to assume jurisdiction, for him to say that I'm calling the House off, or if you like, I am suspending the House in a day and all that. Those powers come from the Constitution. You cannot be seen to be appropriating and reprobating at the same time.
All right, Honorable Vincent, thank you very much for joining us here on the Channel One Newsroom. Honorable Vincent Asifua is Member of Parliament for Otafo. Honorable Neilante Vanderpoy, the Member of Parliament for Ododoliodo, is also on the line with us. I mean, you heard your colleague Member of Parliament. What is your take on the Supreme Court's ruling? And do you believe that the Speaker would comply? I mean, having known him all these years.
Well, thank you very much, and let me say a good evening to Vincent. The Supreme Court has ruled. It's fine. Every Ghanaian has that responsibility to respect the ruling of any court of competent jurisdiction. Every Ghanaian has the right to also appeal against any decision of a court. But in this ruling, we in the NDC have nothing in this case.
Okay.
We've not gone to court. We're not a party to a suit. We're not any of the defendants in this case. We don't have anything to do with this case. The suit was on the Speaker. So it's the Speaker who has a right to determine whether he wants to respect the decision of the Supreme Court or not. As far as we are concerned,
okay,
we today, as we speak, are the majority in Parliament because the ruling and the information that was given by the Speaker to the plenary on that day has not been waived. If judgment has been given by the Supreme Court, that judgment should be effected on the Speaker of Parliament so that the Speaker of Parliament will come to the House. Because decisions affecting Parliament are taken in the House of Parliament and not in the Supreme Court. So, whatever decision the Supreme Court has said, whatever orders the Supreme Court has given, will be served on the Speaker.
All right.
And the Speaker is so minded, he will come to the House and review his decision that he made. As far as we are concerned, as of today, nothing of the sort. And as far as we are concerned, we are coming back to the House only after the elections on December 7th. We are not coming to the House to do anything now because we are busy with our elections and our constituencies.
Honorable, hold on a minute.
The Supreme Court cannot come.
If Speaker Babin calls you in the next few days, the minority is not coming back to the House?
Even when the Speaker calls us, we have the right to say we will not report. Because by the timetable of Parliament, we're supposed to go on recess so that we can have time for our elections and our constituencies. Note, our vacation is our vacation. We have the right to decide that we want to take our vacation and not to report to Parliament.
All right. So just so we are clear, the minority is decided not to come to...
If they have moved a motion, to come to Parliament, we are also have the right to move a motion and say we are not coming to Parliament because of the importance of the elections in our various constituencies.
All right.
So, as far as we are concerned, if they want us to talk about anything like coming to Parliament, they should not waste the taxpayers' money by asking us to come to Parliament in the next three weeks. We are not coming. We are concerned about elections, and we shall only come to Parliament after the elections. That is one. I want them to take that, and that should be at the back of their mind. We are not coming anywhere around Parliament until after the elections. Two, we want them to understand one fact, that as far as we are concerned, issues about minority or majority are determined by the numbers in the House. So when we resume, the numbers will tell whether we are the majority or they are the majority. This is not about the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, the case which went to the Supreme Court is there. But our standing orders and the Constitution tells us what constitutes majority and minority. So it is not for the MPP or the Supreme Court to define for us who are the majority or minority in Ghana's parliament. We have our own procedures of determining who is a majority or who is a minority. When they were declared majority by Speaker Babi, did they go to the Supreme Court to see that declaration?
No.
So the truth of the matter is that we don't have any interest in the suit. We don't care whatever decision has been given by the Supreme Court. That's between them. That's between the Supreme Court and the Speaker and Afenyo-Maki, who went to the court. I heard Afenyo-Maki talking about engagement. If he knew that one of the most important procedures and processes of arriving consensus in the House is engagement, why didn't he engage and went to court? Why didn't he engage and went to the Supreme Court?
Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy.
It's now that he's calling for engagement. It's too late in time.
We're grateful. We're grateful for your time here on the Channel One Newsroom. We're grateful. We're grateful, Honorable. Thank you very much for joining us. The Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy is the Member of Parliament for Ododo Diodio. You're still watching the Channel One Newsroom here on Channel One TV. Still to come. Electoral Commission disqualifies Ghana Freedom Party's presidential candidate nominee. Stay with us. We'll have details of that and others coming up shortly.
Get ready.
Every objection against you is hereby dismissed.
For Impact 2024 with the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, Reverend Dr. Eastwood Anaba, Apostle Joshua Selman, Apostle Isi Igeneba, Bishop Dr. Bernard Ojiri Asari, and Reverend Dr. David Entry. November 24th to December 1st, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. daily at Action Chapel International, Prayer Cathedral, Dominion Arena. For inquiries or pass information, call 059-230-0069.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, wait. You go put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
Google radio. We have star 712. It's much more phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And I'm with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else? Let's choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
No, maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random ticket. That's it. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. Buy. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. T&Cs apply.
Oh, Mansa, what is happening?
Sit down.
Mansa, why is your shop so empty?
You have reminded me of my sorrow. You were with me when I went to the bank for a loan to establish this place. The bank is chasing me for their money now. The interest alone is 40% every year. I can't restock because of the exchange rate. Today the dollar is 15, tomorrow 16. And it's even getting to 17. Why? The price of an item, 1 cedi today, 10 cedis tomorrow. The numerous taxes, high electricity and water bills are killing me. I can't plan. I can't save. I can't even repay my loan. All my capital is gone. Who will save me out of my misery? It's okay. I'm suffering. Where is help?
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Every day is packed with its own surprises. You never know which thrill is around the corner.
Feel good.
Or how it will play out. There's a sense of excitement.
Did our plane just stop? Another cash out.
That adds a little magic to my everyday.
Feels like a party tonight.
You're welcome back to the Channel One Newsroom. Let's now focus on some election-related stories. Now, the Electoral Commission has disqualified the presidential candidate nominee of the Ghana Freedom Party, who had been selected to replace the late Ejura Donko. The disqualification was due to what the Electoral Commission described as illegalities in the submitted forms, despite the party being given an opportunity to correct other irregularities. In response to the situation, the Electoral Commission has confirmed that the name and identity of the deceased Ejura Donko will remain on the ballot paper to avoid unnecessary cost and save time. Freduho reports.
At an emergency IPAC meeting held at the headquarters of the Electoral Commission today, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, noted that the replacement that was brought by the Ghana Freedom Party to replace the dead Madam Ejura Donko has since been disqualified. But the ballot papers, as we have the presidential candidates from 1 to 13, would still be maintained, and the face and logo of the GFP and its flag bearer would be maintained on the ballot paper, but any vote cast in her favor would be annulled. In that case, only 12 people would have valid vote cast on the ballot paper, in as much as there are 13 people represented on the ballot paper. The EC chair has been addressing the party representatives as well as the media.
At the end of the process, they detected a number of errors and some illegalities with the form. The candidate's attention was drawn to these errors, and the party was provided an opportunity to correct them. They did that. In the view of the Commission, it was not in our bosom to provide the political party the opportunity to correct some of the illegalities that we found on the form. In that respect, the party did not draw their attention to it, because the Commission does not feel that it is in its bosom to allow any political party to correct illegalities with the form. The Commission, therefore, as at yesterday, wrote to the party and to the candidate disqualifying him from contesting the 2024 presidential election.
She's been explaining what really informed their decision and the laws backing their action.
The Commission would like to inform you that the printing would proceed on the current ballot as is, in the interest of time and to save this country millions of cedis. And so our task here this morning is very simple. We are not here to change positions. We are not here to reballot. We are simply here to inform you that the Commission intends to notify our printing houses to proceed with the presidential ballot as is.
Richard Boutre, he described himself as the organizer of the GFP, which has since been disqualified by the Electoral Commission. And according to him, they are happy because this is the time to honor the memory of Madame Ejura Donko.
We need to honor our late mother, the leader and the founder of Ejura Donko. So the decision from the commissioner is the best.
So who is leading your party now?
We will just arrange and do the Congress after the burial and the final funeral rites when you get to the grave. So the 2027 is our decision now.
On the request of the National Democratic Congress to have a breakdown of all the eligible voters on the certified register for the 2024 general elections, the chairperson indicated that has been done despite there are no laws compelling them to do so. We've been engaging Dr. Tanko Computer, who also expressed satisfaction about the fact that the EC has taken the pain to give them a breakdown of the register, and so they will be picking up the full certified register with their hard drive from the Electoral Commission.
I was grateful to thank them for bringing that one, but it fell short of the original summaries. And then that's why we asked for. And clearly, they know it. That's their job. That's why they were silent about it. It doesn't take the mouth of a political party, which will not even make a 0.001% in an election to ask me that. They don't need to have that. We will follow it through. We've taken notice of it, especially the issue about the polling stations, which do not exist again. This is the first time they are announcing it. I'm sure you, the media, have taken notice of that.
At this juncture, it seems that all the political parties and major stakeholders in the lead up to the 2024 general elections are on the same page with the Electoral Commission, which is the referee in this game. And so the road is clear for the EC to carry out with its printing of ballot papers and also ensure that the election is conducted in a free and fair manner. My name is Fred Zuho, reporting from the headquarters of the Electoral Commission for Channel One News.
Now, flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has pledged to work toward handing over abandoned pits of Anglo Gold Ashanti Limited to the constituents of Obuasi East and Obuasi West, aiming to boost local involvement in the mining sector. He announced this initiative during a tour of the constituencies. Channel One News' Hanson Ajiman reports.
Dr. Bawumia's tour included stops in Obuasi East, Obuasi West and Ekrofom constituencies. These three constituencies, located within the same enclave, have shown consistent support for the NPP. The NPP has its strongest backing in Obuasi West, where the party's presidential candidate led by a margin of over 21,000 votes in the 2020 election. Obuasi East followed closely with a margin of over 15,000 votes. Meanwhile, in Ekrofom, the NPP won by a narrow margin of just 3,659 votes. Dr. Bawumia expressed optimism about maintaining the support of these constituencies. During his visit to Ekrofom, the regent of the traditional area thanked the NPP government for elevating the constituency status to a district.
Mr. Wamama district. Emubia Antintam. Ejura Kufuado Bahape. Milutu Benim. Asimo Kachel Mr. Nenya Butre. Sami ko to abamma na me ko na menya ba bigina Memamu district. Mpara. Odi nkunimu no. This is your toss me and the whole Ghana oboyedin. Mpara what the district no mai. May obi anwanwa. Na binu mbo yense nka mekọ kenkan nipa na wokuru no so nyina na dodo no amanya na ansa na ko mo gina so ama me district no. But Akufuado anya saa.
In Obuasi East, Dr. Bawumia highlighted the NPP government's achievements, asserting their record surpassed that of the NDC despite economic challenges.
Notwithstanding, say yanya COVID, the global economic crisis in Aba, every sector of the economy, we have performed better than him. We have created more jobs. We have built more roads, more railway, more airport, more schools, more hospitals, more public libraries, more sanitation facilities, more cocoa jobs, more agriculture, more industry, more factories.
Campaigning in Obuasi West, Dr. Bawumia recognized the community's rich resources and announced that his administration will negotiate with Anglo Gold Ashanti to transfer ownership of abandoned mining pits to local community members.
Licenses, community mining schemes, areas are Abofui era use the yellow negotiate na community mining and more small scale miners in Obuasi West and East. Chebe. Yeah, but more geological survey authority abekire baby a gold no or honor community mining schemes no amamo.
Now to the NDC now, its flag bearer John Dramani Mahama has emphasized the urgent need for reforms in Ghana's health sector, citing rising health sector costs and inadequate infrastructure as key issues. Speaking after he and his wife, former First Lady Lordina Mahama, commissioned a new maternity and children's ward in Bodom in Nkranza North, John Mahama reaffirmed his commitment to providing free primary health care for all Ghanaians and expanding health facilities nationwide.
It can now cater to mothers and their newborns in a more modern and dignified environment. Nananum, ladies and gentlemen, the timing of this inauguration could not be more opportune. Health statistics continue to reflect a rising demand for maternity and neonatal services nationwide. And as we just heard, we are doing above 300 deaths for every 100,000 live births. That is a figure we've tried to push down for many years, and it's because of the lack of facilities like this that makes it difficult for us to achieve our targets. While we celebrate this inauguration, we cannot ignore the broader challenges confronting Ghana's health system and the urgent need for transformative reforms. Many Ghanaians can still not access the medical care they need, sometimes not because healthcare facilities don't exist, but because the costs are often beyond their reach. For this reason, among others, the next NDC government, which God willing I will lead, will prioritize critical social interventions designed to make healthcare more accessible and affordable for every Ghanaian, regardless of their socio-economic background.
Now, as Ghana approaches their December 7 polls, the New Patriotic Party is looking to make significant gains in the Ashanti region by targeting the NDC's 4 seats, with the Ejura constituency being a focal point. The NDC, however, is preparing for a tough fight with incumbent MP Mohamed Bawa Brahima seeking a 3rd term. Adding intensity to the race, the NPP's Gifty Ndoma has emerged as a strong contender. Channel One News' Fatih Aminu Ibrahim explores the heated dynamics of this electoral battleground.
We have come to the Ejura, one of the areas which is largely considered as a stronghold of the NDC. And so we have come to interact with the residents here and to assess the chances of the 2 leading political parties. Whereas we have the Madam Gifty Ndoma, who is leading the NPP, and the incumbent member of Parliament, Mohamed Bawa Brahima, contesting again on the ticket of the NDC. Ejura, one of the Ashanti region's key farming hubs, is home to a largely settler population with many residents originally from northern Ghana. The Ghana Statistical Service's 2021 census data records a population of 137,672 for the constituency, with Channel One News' research indicating a current voter population of 67,827. Historically, Ejura has been an NDC stronghold and remains one of the only 4 NDC health seats out of the Ashanti region's 47 parliamentary seats. Since 2000, the NDC has won every election here except in 2012, when the NPP caused an upset. The NDC attributed this loss to internal conflicts, which they resolved to secure subsequent victories. As incumbent Mohamed Bawa Brahima seeks a 3rd term, the NPP is mounting a strong challenge with Gifty Ndoma, who expresses confidence in winning the upcoming election. Now, this is the Ebuta market, one of the main markets within the Ejura. We are here to interact with the traders here and to find out from them how things are going, and also to get to understand what will influence their votes come December 7, 2024.
This government is very poor. We have to change the economy. As for me, John Mahama is the right person to come and consider us.
Mulki akufado komi yayi tsada. Yau kaje kasuwa ka sewan, kan gobe ka ce sai ka rancen kudi ka kara. Jarin da ke hannunka kake iya sayan kaya saboda wanga lokaci wallahi sai ka ci bashi ka kara. ce sa muna neman saki Allah ba mu lafiya.
Da na sayar da abu cikin kasuwan gade o ya dade tun na yariya. Har yanzu shi na ga na kufuwa, na ga na John Muhammad, na ga na akufarin gade bai te daidai ba sam. Saboda shi shekaran gangan layi da John Muhammad zan vote da Alhaji Bawa Burema don saboda garin ya samu ci gaba.
Garin da zama garin yayi zafi. Suro ci kan bo mai da John Muhammad wanda zai duka muna son su. Karon ko wanda zai duka muna son azon garin yayi zafi kwarai. Azon kai sai nake cike sai abin ga ya kara kullu ga ya kara kullu. Azon in ka cire 1 million ma yanzu mun ya kare. Garin yayi zafi. Suro muna son wanda zai
Now my next stop is the main lorry terminal within the Ejura Sechidumase. I'm here to interact with some bus conductors and drivers on their views ahead of the December 7, 2024 polls.
This time, I want to Ghana. I want to debut Ghana. Abana disappointed. The America sano. The way Abana kaso babe amayen. Ambem. Amayen yina ya basa. Goni amayen first net to be a. Injana to be a. 10 million. This time they were real could do no. That's former currency. 10,000. This time 10,000. This time no. Engine boy the intimate.
Afia mangu se mpuntu abe Ejura. Eye tama ye MP na wate sisi ano. No oye MC ena oye mputu juma kase. Wadi first one, was that the second one? Ninyi na chini mihuni ya oye. Wadi 8 years. Me hu no ma waye aya hu se MP ena waye juma ye bisa na wase ne papa ni wo.
Channel One News gathered views from constituents on the upcoming election.
The best law mine my penny say na dawroma yes na so pese MPP aban ni sign ba aban amamuo no mu biemu a na dawroma o mo ayen no ma ne mamla from mayen said the beya ebetimi edi ekokromotini asama oman no MPP aban no aba power
me dey come nko dia as a youth no come ka see and try Mahama so nhwe se ono so be boy because ono odi kan ba first time am wasa nti ebia unse bibi ya ni a nipa de osua de debi okoye no wakosua de ya try na disua na okosua nhwe
se NDC ne be ba na wanyere won se obeye adwuma unidi nti de obeba ebeboa no free education eboa bebre ena niema bi wo hon ma ye hu ai se ye nya wo to NDC mu a wo ye dan ya wo ye NDC ye do to MPP mu nti MPP ya de papa kura na ye hu enti e ka memenko adia enka mema ba omi ato aso.
We spoke to the MPP constituency secretary regarding their candidates' prospects in the December polls.
So the people of the Ejura Sechidumase are now believing that the current MP is incompetent, and for that matter, they are giving Madam Gifty a try. She is requesting for only 4 years. Well, that's what Madam Gifty is saying. So give me only 4 years, and I'll prove to you that I am competent. After 4 years, I wouldn't come to you to request for any vote. You will call me to reward me another 4 years because of my competency. So for that matter, we have seen the seat as already one seat for New Patriotic Party.
Meanwhile, the NDC's Mohammed Bawa Brahma remains confident that he is the right choice for Ejura Sechidumase.
So what we are saying that this is a non-performing government, and so we are only praying and hoping that at least Ghanaians will look favorably onto the eyes of the NDC, and then I think that this drizzle that is coming, these showers of blessing, it is the showers of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Now is the MPP's Madam Gifting Doma ready to rescue the seats from the NDC's Mohammed Bawa Brahma? We leave that for the constituents to tell come December 7, 2024. For Channel One News, I am Fatih Amini.
This is the Election Bureau. Stay tuned for comprehensive and timely coverage of the 2024 elections. Follow us for real-time updates and join the election conversation using the hashtag GhanaPolls2024. This is still the Channel One Newsroom on Channel One TV. Still ahead. 2 killed, several wounded in violent clash in Daduri. Bawku death toll from recent unrest now at 25. The Channel One Newsroom will be back in a moment. Please stay.
In the heart of our communities, change is not just a dream, it's a promise.
I don't have to worry about rising costs and taxes. Dr. Bawumia's flat rate tax system is a breath of fresh air. It means I can keep more of what I earn and invest back into my business.
I've seen so many changes in my lifetime, but what matters most is to feel secured. Dr. Bawumia's initiative for the elderly is to make sure we are not forgotten. He's giving us the exact care that we deserve.
With digital skills training, I am no longer worried about the future. Dr. Bawumia empowers us to thrive in a digital world, making us ready for tomorrow's jobs.
Job opportunities are crucial for my generation. Dr. Bawumia is committed to creating job opportunities and entrepreneurship. With his vision, we can build our dreams.
Together, we can transform our nation. Dr. Bawumia's plan arranges policies. They are pathway for prosperity for every Ghanaian.
It's time for leadership that listens and acts. A vision for all of us, where every voice matters and every dream is possible. Vote Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Ejura, vote number 1 on the ballot.
Hi, my name is Ochiame Kwame. I live at the plush Leisure Den Symphonic, a real estate property developed by Whaley Properties, the very developers of Vista Del Mare and the beautiful Alphabet City. So come with me to site. Let me introduce you to your new home, a gated community with 24-hour security in the heart of Sakomono. Behind me is going to be Willow Lane, where elegance will meet tranquility. You are going to be greeted with a 4-bedroom ensuite home with an elevator, swimming pool, children's playground, constant electricity, and many more. But wait, it gets even more interesting for early birds like you. You get a whopping $50,000 discount. Yes, I said $50,000 if you purchase between now and the end of this month. So call us now or visit us. Willow Lane, where elegance meets tranquility.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink at a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
Heat for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
Another morning, another day filled with possibilities. My old car reflects my journey, and today could be the day I take a big step forward. Anything is possible. Just think about it.
My shelves are ready to be filled, and soon the flat rate will open up exciting new opportunities. I can already envision a vibrant shop bustling with customers, all eager to discover what I have to offer.
I feel optimistic about import costs. Why? Because with DMB flat duty rates, my expenses will be more manageable. I can see my business thriving.
Every moment spent with my son brings back wonderful memories.
I tell you, my son, with me seeing digital skills, now one can say what create games in the website.
Ejura, vote number 1 on the ballot.
Thank you for staying with us here on the Channel One Newsroom. Now, 2 people have been killed and several others wounded by gunfire during a violent clash on Tuesday in Daduri, a suburb of Bawku in the Upper East region. Amid the chaos, 2 houses were reportedly set ablaze, intensifying the situation. This incident raises the death toll from recent unrest to 25, following the death of an elderly man last week who was killed after straying off course on his way home from the hospital. Reports indicate that residents are increasingly evacuating the area, with around 6 buses seen transporting people to Bogatanga under military escort. Now, away from that, the indefinite strike by Ghana Highway Authority workers has quickly impacted operations, with clients at the authority's headquarters turned away as services come to a standstill. On the first day of the strike, Channel One News visited the Ghana Highway Authority's headquarters, where offices remained closed and routine activities were disrupted. More in the following report by Emmanuel Opon.
I'm currently at the headquarters of the Ghana Highways Authority. This is in relation to a declaration of an indefinite strike by the Workers' Union and the Senior Staff Association of this particular government authority. Several clients who visited the Ghana Highway Authority headquarters on Tuesday expressed frustration after being unable to access any services.
We'll call on them to resume so that we can able to get our documents. So whatever causes the strike, governments will look at it and then solve it amicable. Then our document would go fast because we are in election year. So we are all want our document to go to the payment site so that we're able to pay the bankers so that we can get another money to do our work.
It will definitely, it will affect me because I needed the documents to do something with it. And I was even told to come this week. You know, I was supposed to even come yesterday, but I didn't have time. So today I just said, let me check on them and see what's happening. And to hear that they are on strike.
So as it stands now, it is indefinite. We don't know when they are returning. How will it delay?
For sure, it will delay me. Because we want the documents to do something with it. You understand what I'm saying? So if they are not coming, if I'm definite, that means for sure it's going to delay us.
In response, the Ministry of Roads and Highways acknowledged the workers' concerns and urged for dialogue and peaceful negotiations to resolve the issues. Alhaji Hamed Nasir Yati, the ministry's PRO, spoke with Channel One News.
We would like to use this medium to appeal to them, to call them back to the table so that we can continue to engage and discuss. So I believe it will be in all of us' interest if the call of the strike, as directed by the Labour Commission, so that they can come back to work and work for the good people of Ghana.
Although the act has already been passed and the workers have begun their indefinite strike, perhaps in the coming days they may want to take a second look at their decision to give way for negotiations between themselves and the ministry to bring a conclusion to the situation. For Channel One News, Emmanuel Opon.
This is the Channel One Newsroom on Channel One TV. Next is CNR Business with Netele Nete Ajaho.
CNR Business is brought to you by MTN and EcoBank.
Hello and welcome to CNR Business, proudly brought to you by MTN and EcoBank. My name is Netelinete Ajaho. The Bank of Ghana has suspended the foreign exchange trading license of Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG effective November 26, 2024. The suspension, which will last for 1 month, is in accordance with Section 11 of the Foreign Exchange Act 2006, Act 723. According to a statement from the central bank, the decision was prompted by multiple breaches of foreign exchange market regulations, updated guidelines for inward remittance services for payment service providers issued in November 2023, and the anti-money laundering and combating of financing of terrorism and the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction guidelines for accountable institutions in Ghana dated December 2022. The BOG has indicated that the license will be reinstated after the suspension period if CBG can demonstrate adequate internal controls to ensure compliance with foreign exchange regulations. Now moving on, aviation analyst Sean Mendes projects that a decision by transport ministers within the ECOWAS region to reduce air travel charges and taxes by 25% will significantly boost government's revenue and promote regional integration, trade and other benefits. This reduction, scheduled to take effect in January 2026, aims to make air travel more affordable and accessible across the sub-region. There's more in the following reports by my colleague Emmanuel Opong.
The initiative stems from directives issued by ECOWAS heads of state and government during the 65th Ordinary Session in July 2024. At that meeting, aviation ministers along with Directors General of Civil Aviation and the ECOWAS Commission were tasked to take swift and coordinated actions to address the region's rising air transport costs, which are among the highest globally. In an interview with CNR Business, aviation analyst Sean Mendes expressed optimism, suggesting that the policy will lead to increased air traffic as travel becomes more financially feasible for West African citizens and businesses. He expects this boost in passenger volume to increase revenues for both government and private sectors as it revitalized trade within the region.
A lot of people are not traveling within the sub-region by air because of this. That leads to lost productivity, lost business opportunities and things. So I think in general, while the amount of tax that governments collect may reduce, I think the economic benefits of that to the general economy will far outweigh that. So it's a very good idea, but we have to see how it is actually implemented in practice.
Sean Mendes also commented on Virgin Atlantic Airways Limited's decision to delay the relaunch of its routes to Ghana and Israel due to delays in receiving engines from Rolls-Royce Holdings plc. He notes that this development will have minimal impact on Ghana.
I think this is not going to be the end of it as far as Ghana is concerned. Ghana may get lucky and not see other airlines have similar problems.
Barring any last-minute disruptions within the sector, aviation charges within the sub-region is supposed to witness some amount of reduction. For CNR Business, my name is Emmanuel Opong.
And that's all for CNR Business. It was proudly brought to you by MTN and EcoBank. My name is Nete Ajahu.
CNR Business was brought to you by MTN and EcoBank.